So just how well does a 30 to 35-year-old mountain bike perform? The way this one's set up, I think it's pretty awesome. So a lot of you have been asking that I do some riding clips of my bikes. If you haven't seen my restoration of this Ritchey Ascent, it's from the late 80s, probably in 88 or maybe in 87, just based on the U brakes that are down below the chainstays. This bike performs really quite well. It's nice 4130 steel, Ritchey steel. It rides really smooth. I've set it up tubeless. I've set it up with an 8-speed thummy from Paul's Components, using a micro shift 8-speed shifter with an 8-speed rear cassette that's running from 11 to 40 teeth, and the front chainring I'm running at a 1x8 has a 34 tooth chainring. And for me, that combination, the 34 in the front and the 40 in the back, was just right for climbs, and I'm a bit out of shape after the winter here, and it rode really well. It climbed well. It's really nice and solid on all of the climbs. I really liked on the descent, I used the height right saddle and popped it down just a little lower, which is the original dropper post, you could say. It works great. I really quite like it, and performed well. Overall, there's a few things I would change a little bit, but we'll talk about that at the end. Good ride on the Ritchey up Mueller Park till it started to get too snowy and muddy to make it fun to ride. Performed great. Got just a little muddy underneath. A beautiful flight seat. Got a little dirty, probably from my butt, from getting some mud on my shorts. The height right, I think I need to adjust it a little bit when it pops up. It always pops up just a little askew to the left. Micro shift performs awesome with the 8-speed rear. and 34 up front. Mueller Park has some steep climbs at the beginning, and I was able to do them just fine, even out of shape like I am, with the 34 and the 40 in the rear. On some of the gravel, more gravel-like rides, I wouldn't mind something a little bigger in the front, which would make me want to go a little bigger in the back. And I do find that up here on the higher end, I don't feel like I have enough range, enough options to get my cadence just right. I wouldn't mind a few in between. For that reason, if I do look at upgrading this ever, I may look at going to a 10-speed rear cassette and going with something wider range, maybe. And if I do that too, I may go with a bigger chainring in the front. Because the climbing gear, like I said, is just fine. But if I go bigger in the rear, that makes it so I can go bigger in the front, which makes it so the front to the back would be a little better. Something like a 36 or a 38 up front with the 11 in the back, or maybe even, maybe if I was in shape, a 40 would be okay. If maybe I went to a 46 in the rear. I have to look at the gear ratios and see what makes sense, but that might give me the wider range that I might want on this bike, because I do like the technical climbs on this, like at Mueller, and so I want that good climbing gear, but I may want for more gravel type rides a bigger range for the flats and the downhills to get that extra speed. It might be nice to have a clutch in the rear also, so we're not slapping as much. I've got a piece of vinyl as a chainstay protector here, clear vinyl, and just from this ride alone, it's already dinged up pretty good from chain slap. So a clutch rear might be good. Even though I really love these old XT from the 90s. I think they're one of the most beautiful derailleurs out there. They're just nice, solid, and this one's in great shape. So, those old bikes can be awesome, guys, even fully rigid with a tubeless. I don't think this ride would be as comfy without this nice steel and the tubeless without a suspension fork in the front. It just makes it so you need to be a little smarter about how you ride. You can't just be mindless bombing everything. But those old bikes can still handle it. Again, look for opportunities to give those old things new life. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Ciao.